Welcome to the Scorpio New Moon, the shadow moon, and this is part of my 13 moons journey through the year. But this month feels different. I'm feeling a change. Like this is less about just introducing an archetype and more of a descent of a deep soul journey through this new moon. There's so much potency with the Scorpio New Moon. And as we reach this time of year that embodies the themes of death and rebirth, I feel that deeply in my soul that this is a time of deep transformation for me and for the work that I've been doing. And so as I take the next step on this path, I am aware that the 13 moons is something that is being transformed, being remade into something new. And whilst I'm not entirely sure what that might be, and I have really enjoyed this rhythm of introducing a seasonal focus, a new moon, and an archetype to go with it every month, I don't know if this is something that I will continue for the entire year. And so I'm taking the next step, and this is where we meet the Scorpio New Moon. And so I'm gonna make this video for the Scorpio New Moon, and we will see what comes through this time. Scorpio, the home of Pluto and Mars, gods of war and death. This is such a deeply painful and messy transformation energy, and we move through it every year. Motherhood teaches us a lot about death, about transformation through sacrifice, through loss of ourselves, through often service to the point of oblivion, through giving of ourselves until there is no more to give. And hard as that is, I don't think that I know a mother who hasn't experienced that level of sacrifice. The level of sacrifice that she gave so much that she lost herself, that she lost her very center. And as we pass through this Scorpio season, that is a theme that is really, throughout this whole year, that is something that I have really been trying to address within my own life, within my own family dynamics, within my own journey, putting up boundaries that protect me and teaching my family how to not allow me to reach that point that I just move towards so easily. Because everyone always needs something, don't they? Everyone is always asking for something. And it's so easy to just keep on going in order to keep everyone else happy without stopping to think about what it is that you're sacrificing, about what impact this is having on you, on how you're showing up for yourself. But as is the medicine of Scorpio, we are reborn through death. There are many seasons of the zodiac that have much to teach us about boundaries. Scorpio is not one of those. Scorpio is here to teach us about death, about fearlessly taking that step off the edge of the cliff, about knowing that beyond is where the transformation lies. Safety is not something to be pursued, transformation is. And so as we're moving through this Scorpio season, I am learning maybe it's not just about the boundaries, but it's also about the surrender, about surrendering to this moment. Now, I have toddlers. I currently have 3 under 5. And for all of the wild, beautiful joy that is, gosh, I love toddlers. I love babies. I am riding their emotional waves all day long. I am trying to support them through big feelings over and over and over and over. And I reach the end of the day wondering if I felt anything for myself at all. And I'm finding Scorpio as my comforter in that exhaustion, as a place to quietly break, to gently be, to allow myself to be transformed through this season of motherhood, to allow myself to choose not just the easy way, but the way that feels like it's speaking to me through this season. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope that it does. Allowing Scorpio to comfort me in the darkness, to be with me in the sadness, to watch my dreams as they feel so close and yet so far out of reach, to wonder if there will ever be enough time or enough support to make me genuinely feel supported. And I have support, so much more than I have had in previous seasons of my life, in previous seasons of parenthood. I am much more resourced than I have been in the past, and still it feels so inadequate. Sometimes I look at myself and I wonder if I have maybe become a bottomless pit that could never be filled, that could never be supported enough, that could never be held enough to genuinely feel like it was enough. You know, when like someone comes along and does something nice for you, offers you some childcare or makes you a cup of tea, or it's often when my husband will take the children out or allow me to have a lie-in, which he does a lot at the moment, which is new for me and it's such a gift to wake up long after everyone else in our household. But it still feels like I'm overwhelmed a lot of the time. And so allowing that feeling to wash over me, to be with me, allowing my shadow self, that bottomless pit, allowing her to be heard, to be seen on camera apparently. And anyone who's thinking about commenting on this, know that I recognize this as my shadow, and I feel shame for being so resourced and yet feeling like there's gratitude there, but I feel ungrateful. Do you know what I mean? I feel like this must be relatable. This moon in my 13 moons guide is linked to the deep mother. The mother who can hold all of this, who can hold our brokenness, who can hold our lack of gratitude, our dark thoughts, who doesn't look away, but who stays with us, who doesn't look away from her own dark thoughts, but stays with them, holds them. The mother who can be in the loss and the pain. And at this time of year, we also have just been through Baby Loss Awareness Month. So I want to create a space for that in this video as someone who had a late-term miscarriage and who knows the pain of loss, and who also knows the pain of wishing and longing for a child that may never come, which I realize seems crazy as a mother of 4, but there was a time when I took a pregnancy test every month and it was negative, and I thought that I would never have the babies that I longed for. And I want to honor that, the depth of loss that is felt through infertility, through longing. I think it is something that many mothers, even mothers with many children, have been through and strongly relate to. The deep mother knows that alchemy happens when you bring together the light and the dark, and that we cannot recognize our own power and our own strength until we have faced our own darkness. Under this shadow moon, this dark Scorpio moon, we have an invitation to face our own shadow, to recognize the darkness within us and to not turn away, to sit with the pain, to sit with the longing, to sit with the loss, the rage, the dark thoughts, the ones that you may never whisper out loud, but that sit there within you. The pain, sacrifice, over and over and over. And as we sit with these pieces of ourselves, as we recognize them, as we allow them to speak to us, to tell us about their longing, about their loss, we can ask them what they need, what they want from us, what we need to change, how we need to transform, how we can welcome them into our consciousness, into our deep awareness and deep connection. How can we compassionately reach out to the raging mother within us, to the weeping mother within us, to the mother who has lost and who is grieving, to the mother who fights for more and burns with passion and anger that cannot be expressed in the way that she wants to. As we sit with those pieces of ourselves and ask them, what do they need from us? What can we offer them in this season? How can we reassure them that they will be honored in the fullness of time? That there will be time for them, that our children will grow, that their needs will change, and their needs change quickly, that there will be a space for them to be expressed, that the toxic relationships that we may be in, that we're going to find ways to keep them safe, to keep those pieces of ourselves safe, whatever that might mean that we need to do on the outside. And as we listen to these pieces of ourselves and understand what it is that they are longing for, we will find ways to access their power, to access their resources, to access the ways that they will support us, the ways that we can be fully present, that we can fully collaborate in creating the life that we desire. And trying to do that without our shadow is going to leave us always feeling hollow. Our shadow is what makes us whole. It's the rest of us. It's the piece of us that we need. So if you feel lost and broken and angry, I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you, that you're not doing this wrong, but that this is a moment of your descent. This is your moment of alchemy. That this is where you descend into darkness. You meet your shadow. And if you don't turn away, if you don't bypass or ignore her, if you allow her to be heard and seen with compassion and understanding, then this moment of alchemy, bringing her into your awareness, can be a moment of powerful transformation, powerful integration that will make you more whole, that will give you more options, that will give you more autonomy, that will stop you from hiding, from shape-shifting, from trying to be more palatable for yourself and for others. You can step into the fullness of your power, even in this moment. Even when life feels hard, there is space for you to be the whole of you if you make it that way. Even if she can't be fully expressed in this moment, meeting her with the reassurance and compassion that there will be a time, that her time will come when she can be everything that she desires. You will make space to listen and to hold her and to comfort her, that her concerns will be met with a compassionate ear. This is the transformation. This is the shadow work. This is the alchemy. This is the way that we find our fullness, that we learn who we truly are and what we are truly here for. So I want to welcome you during this Scorpio season to meet the Dark Mother, to allow yourself to be heard, to allow your darkest parts to have voice, to have a moment of compassion, a moment of love. And if you get a chance, spend some time journaling with these darker parts of yourself. Spend some time allowing them to be heard. Or if you are in one of those seasons where the idea of journaling sounds very magical, like what an indulgent thing to do, I have been there, then take just a moment, literally a moment, and acknowledge her existence. When you are feeling those emotions bubbling up, speak her name. I feel the rage inside of me. I understand that she is valid, that no emotion is ever invalid. And when I can, I will make space to truly, deeply listen to her. Thank you for listening to this. I really hope it was helpful. I hope it helped you to connect to this Scorpio energy, to this autumny, wintry energy. And I really hope that it's helped you to connect to yourself, to understand yourself, and to allow that alchemy to happen. If you'd like to do some deeper work around this, I offer readings where we can look at your personal astrology, look at where your shadows are probably going to be, and where we can hold space for these pieces of yourself, where we can hold space for all of your emotions, allow them to be heard and seen and processed, and think about ways in which we can invite them to be more present in your life, to be more heard, more seen, and to be offered tools and resources, to be offered ways of expressing, ways of having their desires met in your life right now. I hope you have a blessed Scorpio New Moon.